How Trump's tariff war could leave millions of Americans without toilet paper explained. New tariffs imposed on Canada may hit the availability of northern bleached softwood kraft pulp NBSK, a key component in making toilet paper and paper towels. U.S. imported 2 million tons of Canadian NBSK last year. A new round of Trump tariffs on Canadian softwood lumber could disrupt the supply chain, leaving many Americans without toilet paper. The Trump administration plans to almost double duties on Canadian softwood lumber to 27%, with the possibility of additional taxes pushing the rate to more than 50%. While the new tariffs may partly help boost U.S. manufacturing, they may also hit the availability of northern bleached softwood kraft pulp NBSK, a key component in making toilet paper and paper towels. Nanan NBSK takes up about 30% of standard U.S. bathroom tissue and half of a typical paper towel, and is currently sourced primarily from Canada. Brian McClay, chairman of TOBMA, which tracks the global pulp market, told the Financial Post. The U.S. imports around 10% of its toilet paper, with half of it imported from Canada. Dino Bianco, chief executive of Kruger Products, Canada's largest toilet paper producer, said the U.S. imported about 2 million tons of Canadian NBSK last year, highlighting how much American paper goods producers rely on pulp from their northern neighbor. Some of these mills in the United States, some of the big branded products, not only want softwood pulp from Canada, they want softwood pulp from this particular mill. They've been using it for 30 years and they will not change, McClay told the Financial Post. If Canadian pulp mills close because they don't have the fiber supply, I can't think of any other option for them. They just can't switch the recipe around, he said. Nanan the increase in lumber import tariffs would reduce the availability of fewer wood chips used to make pulp, which will force some sawmills out of business. This will result in short-term closures and reduced ingredient production, which could lead to pandemic-style shortages of the final products and potentially higher prices. On April 2, when 25 tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods were postponed and were scheduled to take effect, Trump is expected to declare reciprocal tariffs on foreign goods. 25% tariffs on all imported vehicles, trucks, and auto parts, including those produced in Canada by American businesses, have already been announced by him. This year, the 14% import tax on Canadian softwood lumber is expected to increase to nearly 27%. The duties would increase to roughly 52% due to the 25 tariffs on the majority of Canadian goods, and a national security investigation into lumber imports might result in even higher fees, as per the feed. Although Trump has always insisted that tariffs would help increase U.S. manufacturing, industry experts, however, say Canadian softwood pulp has different properties that cannot be easily replaced by American alternatives. Bloomberg reported. This shortage could drive up production expenses for tissue manufacturers, potentially leading to supply shortages. Nanan the new tariffs could see sawmills running out of business. Sawmills are not easily adaptable, typically operating either at full capacity or shutting down entirely, said Jean-François Samary, head of the Quebec Forest Industry Council. He explained that the softwood sector functions within a pure and perfect competition market. So, in a market like that, there will be temporary closures, reduced production, which will have an effect on continental supply and demand, he told Bloomberg. Amid an ongoing trade war, the U.S. currently imposes duties exceeding 14% on Canadian lumber. One of these levies is set to rise this year, pushing the total rate close to 27%. Trump said on Friday in a social media post that he had an extremely productive call with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Without specifying a final decision on how he will implement new lumber tariffs, Trump said he would meet with Carney after Canada's elections on April 28 to work on elements of politics, business, and all other factors that will end up being great for both the United States of America and Canada. Nanan the Trump administration is set to introduce a new wave of tariffs on April 2, a date the U.S. president has labeled Liberation Day. Economists view the move as the culmination of his America First trade policy, an executive order he signed on his first day in office, aimed at boosting domestic manufacturing. Lori Wallach, director of the think tank Rethink Trade, told the Financial Times that the U.S. balancing trade with its partners could mean some logical combination of sectoral tariffs applying to all countries for particular goods the U.S. thinks are important, and some application of country-specific tariffs on countries that have the highest chronic surpluses in their global trade. Nan